In this video, we want to talk about ID threading. If we look at the Operations Manager, you can see that previously we've center drilled, and bored the part. Now all that's left to do is to put threads on it. If we look at the geometry here, you can see that I've divided the boring lines into yellow and orange. The yellow represents the portion that is to be threaded. Threading follows lines from the beginning to the end, so anytime you're going to thread a lathe part, you need to have a line that is pretty much exactly the length of the thread. To start, I'm going to go up to NC, down to lathe, and down to thread. Down at the bottom, SURFCAM asks me to select a line for lathe thread. Simply going to left mouse click on this line, and our tool information appears. The first thing we'll have to do when we get to the Tool Information tab is to select the proper tool. As you can see on the screen right here at Select Tool, we're using an OD threading tool. This will not work on an ID operation, so we have to go to Select Tool and choose a tool that's suitable for what we're trying to do. In this case, I'm going to choose an NT3R ID threading tool. I'll click OK, and the next thing to do is change the tool number. This is our fourth operation in the Operations Manager with our fourth different tool. So I'm going to change tool number to 4, length offset to 4, and diameter offset to 4. Next, we're going to move to thread control. Right up at the top, the operation is listed as ID operation, right-handed thread. So we're in good shape here. Next is our thread pitch. How many threads per inch do we want? I'm going to leave it at 8 threads per inch. The depth of the thread is the total depth we're going to cut to. The first cutting depth is the first cutting depth of the total depth. The minimum depth of cut is the smallest amount we're going to cut when we cut the thread. Down a little bit farther, our retract angle and our retract clearance are important values. The retract angle determines where the tool pulls off to when it's finished cutting the thread. In this case, I want it to move downwards or in a minus 90 degree direction to get it away from the wall. So I'm going to enter minus 90 as our retract angle. Our retract clearance of 100 thousandths is sufficient to pull it away from the wall. Here we've got a start of 1, 0 spring passes and a lead-in length of 2 threads. That is, from the beginning of the threading operation, it will start 2 threads away from the geometry and then move inwards. When it gets to the end of the line, it will cut to the end of the line, period, because we have no lead out length of 0 thread showing here. I'm going to click OK, and now it's going to ask me to pick the lathe retract point. Where is the threading tool going to go when we're finished? I'm going to move up here to point, left mouse click on point, click on this green point here, and now SURFCAM has asked me to pick the lathe retract point. Since we gave it a retract angle of minus 90 degrees and a retract clearance of 0.1, the tool should pull down to here before pulling out on the retract move. So we should be fine without a lathe clearance point. So I'm just going to left mouse click on Done here and accept, and you can see how the tool motion will occur. Move down in, come in, start 2 threads out, move up, cut the thread to the end of the line, pull away, pull back out, and retract to our retract point. As before, we're going to run the simulation in a wireframe mode so you can see the internal structure of the machining operations. I've set the speed down to the lowest speed, and we're going to press start. Center drill, boring operation. And as we zoom up here, you can see the threads.